Hello, my name's Artemis, and this week we're going to be talking about something which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to and is very important to a lot of us, but maybe we just haven't found the right words for it, and that is, of course, found family, the very concept of family that you find and are not actually just born into. But what exactly is that thing, and how do you define it? And is that the first segment of this video? Yes it is. Let's get to it. So, what exactly do I mean when I say found family? Well, it's the distinction between someone who is just a friend and someone who is a hell of a lot closer than that. Now, I, in my life, keep a good distinction between a mate and a friend, because a mate is someone that I chat to, I talk to, I probably work with them, I see them in passing, I see them socially, but they're not somebody that I traditionally really open up to or speak to personally, or really give away too much of myself, because they're not that close, they don't have that sort of bond. Whereas a friend is someone that I very much do. I am myself, genuinely, through and through, all the way, open up, speak to them, and that's how I sort of see it. And that is essentially what found family is. This isn't someone that you work with, this isn't someone that you're just acquaintances with, or someone that you used to know. This is someone who you can rely on at any given moment. If you're having a crash or a meltdown, you know that they can help you with that, and they will. If you need to talk something out, you know that they will always be there, and they will understand, because they know you. They know everything about you that's important, about who you truly are, and they accept that. That's found family. You also see this sort of thing cropping up in LGBT culture a little bit. You see it around like the New York ball culture with the houses. That's an element of found family, because in some cases it really is people who don't have a family, who were kicked out of their family for being who they are, and came together with like-minded individuals to build what they were missing, what they were refused from their birth family. And that's another big sort of side of it, and another reason why I feel like it's so prevalent in the furry fandom. Now, there is a very big, very powerful expectation in this world that family is, of course, everything. It is the most important thing. Blood is thicker than water, which is a very strange way to put it, but the blood relations that you have are the most important thing, which I honestly find very strange, considering it's completely random. You do not get to pick your family, you do not get to pick your parents, you don't get to pick any of that shit. You are just thrust into it like a fucking dice roll and expected that somehow these would be the closest people to you because they share some DNA, and that's about it. And honestly, this is something that is actually very difficult for a lot of people to deal with, because not everybody has the exact same experience with family, not everybody feels that close with them. This isn't a Vin Diesel movie for everybody where family is the biggest, most important thing. Although those films actually focus on found family, so shit, do I agree with Vin Diesel?
I don't have friends. I got family.
Anyway, people do have different relationships with their family, and the whole being blood thing isn't just enough that it's the most important thing in the world. You need to do more than that. You need to be more than that, which is why found family tends to hold a stronger connection, at least to people like myself, because these are not people that stuck around because they had to, or because there was some automatic bond that means you can't break it because family. No, these are people that stuck around because they were supposed to, because they're your kind of people, and that right there is what makes it so important. The bond of blood may be something that a lot of people hold very dear, but it's not as strong as it needs to be for a lot of people, and that's when those people start looking for alternatives. Now, a lot of the reason people end up joining something like the furry fandom is that they're looking for their kind of people. They're looking for the exact sort of people that they are like, because they haven't found them in their traditional day-to-day, boring, normie life. And that's very obvious. A lot of us can sort of relate to that. You are going to find like-minded individuals, and that's the reason why we come here. So it stands to reason that coming to a place where we can find people that resonate with us, who we are at the core of our being, and what we want out of life, is going to have a greater significance to it. It's going to be an opportunity for us to find people that are a lot closer than we would have anticipated, and that's always what the fandom has sort of been. It's also why I think you see people enter the fandom and are very outwardly social, very much trying to meet and greet everybody, make a big circle of friends, and then they slowly start to recede. They slowly start to shrink that circle, because it's about coming in and figuring out, I want to meet everybody, and then you do, and then it's, I want to focus on those who I truly click with, truly resonate with, and are truly important. It's that quote, if you're going to make a dollar bill, are you going to want X amount of dimes, or are you going to want 4 quarters? It's about having those people that mean the most to you, that have the most value to your soul and your life and everything that you treasure. That's what it generally comes down to. And it's very interesting that we do this in this fandom, considering obviously family is supposed to fulfill that role. But unfortunately, because family is supposed to fulfill that role, it's very disappointing when it doesn't, because we all expect it to. And then when it doesn't, or if it doesn't, then it feels that much more impactful that you don't have this component to your life. Whereas you come into the fandom and people enter your life as strangers. And in that moment, you don't necessarily know it, but they could be the biggest people in your life, your ride or dies, the people that you trust and you platonically love more than you ever thought possible. And that's exactly how it happened with me, and I feel like it's exactly how it happens with a lot of folks in this fandom. So why is this such a big deal? Why is this something that so many people find important? Well, unfortunately, a lot of the reasons people find this important are not happy, good, lovely reasons. You see, unfortunately, the whole being family, being blood, is often used as an excuse to avoid accountability and responsibility. It is the sort of thing that you say when you have a legitimate grievance with someone who has done you wrong, and you're told, yeah, but they're family. You can't just cut them off. Yes, you can. And in a lot of cases, yes, you should. You see, we've all sort of grown up in a much more emotionally intelligent era. Maybe not everybody has that, but you certainly have the tools to become that. And we are much less repressed than we have been before, which means a lot of us have grown up with our eyes open to the fact that our parents still need parenting. And that they are very broken, very damaged people, which they have a right to be, but that mostly what they're doing is passing the generational trauma down the line for the next generation to deal with. And unfortunately for a lot of us, we are those people that draw a line in the sand and say, it goes no fucking further. And that leads to a lot of friction. You see, when people act a certain way and you call them on that, and the only response is, yeah, but they're family, you start to look at it and go, well, what the fuck does that have to do with it? You still did me wrong. You still treated me wrong. You still made me feel like I'm not a part of this fucking thing. You've put so much importance on the word family that all it's really done is highlight how I'm not a part of it. Therefore, none of it means anything to me. And when you have this lack of connection with a family, when you have people that you even go no contact with because they are so aggressively not your kind of people, you start to look for it in other places, and then you start to really prize it when you find it. And that was the experience that I had. I found people that were strangers, that became friends, that found family, that became people that I will die for, people that I'd take a bullet for, people that I trust implicitly, even when I don't trust anybody. And the bond means so much more because they're not here because they have to be. They're not here because we share genetics or a family member. They're here because the connection is important. They're here because they want to be. And they're here because the meaning stands up on its own. It does not need propping up with history and genetics and blood. It is important enough on its own that that's enough to keep us together. And that means the fucking world. And when you have a fandom like this that prizes inclusion and acceptance so highly, it's no wonder that so many of us find it in this place. It's a truly wonderful thing that I really couldn't imagine my life without. And I do wonder if that's one of the reasons so many people come to this fandom. And if it is, then it just makes the fandom just that much more sweeter to enjoy, doesn't it? Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it made some sense. Have you found family in this fandom? Has it been something that has enriched your life? Have you found people that have become closer than you ever thought somebody could be? Or have you been still searching for that? Are you still looking for that sort of thing? Are you unsure how to go about it? Are you at that stage where you're not even sure it's what you're looking for? Let me know in the comments. It's interesting because I do feel like this is a very common component of the fandom, and it's why a lot of us really come to this thing, even if we don't know it at the time. And I do think that it's something that truly enriches our lives. I prize found family above anything else because these people don't have to be here. There's no obligation, and yet they are. And they mean the fucking world to me for doing it. So thank you so much for giving me a fucking reason to exist. All of you. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you would like to help support, there are numerous ways you can do that. You can check out some feet pics because I took that joke and ran with it, and here we are. But also, you might like that sort of thing. So you never know. If not, I'm happy to try and convert you to my church of feet. maybe you would just like some merchandise, because we definitely have that on offer. You should definitely check that out. You'll definitely love it, and definitely pay some money, please. But that's also an option. And if you just like to support, if you just like to help me survive, and generally you like the sort of stuff that I do and think, yeah, he should still do that stuff, you can do that as well. You can support on multiple different levels and get multiple different things for it, but just being there is enough to make me feel, oh my god, they like me, they really like me, or at least they don't want me to die. And that's still very good for me. That's still a big thing for me. So maybe just check that out and see if you'd like to keep me going. And I can rant about some more stuff. Who knows? People love it when I rant. So maybe we'll do that some more. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this video. And I guess I'll see you all next week. Bye!